Hey, what's going on, everyone? Saw a video earlier today over at Pat with Book Chat with Pat's channel that I thought was quite interesting. It's 8 questions for readers, and this was created by Robert G., Reader of Books, and it is 8 questions that have nothing to do with books or reading, but are for people who read books, and it's kind of a nice little get to know you kind of thing. And I haven't done any kind of video like along those kinds of things, or Q&As, or kind of more about me videos in a while, and I'm narcissistic, so we're going to be doing it. Let's just get started. So number 1 is, what is your favorite kind of food? And with that, I definitely have to go with seafood, pretty much of any kind. I love mussels, clams, scallops, mussels and stuff. And not every single fish, but most kinds of fish, like fishy fish, whitefish, swordfish, all's good. And then you got crustaceans and arthropods with the lobsters and crab. I'm from Maine, I have to eat lobster every now and then. So, yeah, even seaweed, sushi, pretty much anything that comes from the sea, I'm pretty good with it. And fortunately, that's helps when you're trying to be. I wouldn't say I'm like fully pescatarian yet, but definitely like making really good progress towards that. Number 2, what is your favorite kind of music? So, and I should have said this at the beginning of the video, you should put down some answers that you think that I'm going to have for some of these. I'll leave the questions in the little text below. But yeah, number 2, what is your favorite kind of music? So, definitely obviously depends on the mood and stuff, but probably my number 1 genre is like trap and stuff, for real. Number 2 is probably like probably melodic death metal for those who don't know that. And then if I'm feeling fun and weird and stuff, it'll be like 90s grunge for sure. So those are definitely my top 3. They don't always go together, but that's just what it is. Number 3, if you were prevented from reading ever again, what would you be doing? So I'm not 100% sure. I'd probably take my fitness stuff like a lot more seriously. I don't know what that would like translate into. Maybe like strongman competitions or powerlifting probably is more likely. Something like that. Maybe do personal training, which I guess all these things I could like still do. I'd probably take my woodworking like 10 times more serious though, not gonna lie. I don't know, I feel blessed in the sense I have like tons and tons of hobbies. I almost don't have enough time for like all the hobbies that I do, between like, booktube and reading that goes along with that, and then the lifting, and then D&D and wargaming and woodworking and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I feel like I'm sure I'm missing stuff there too. But anyways, yeah, I'd probably just do the other stuff even more. Number 4, what is your favorite city? And I probably will have to go with a cliche here. I'm probably going to go with Bar Harbor. Not only, but for a bunch of reasons. It's not even so much the city itself, which I don't really mind. It is kind of a tourist trap kind of thing. But I will say I did get engaged in Bar Harbor. I got married in Bar Harbor on the waterfront. But also, just as important, well, maybe not as important, pretty important, is it's basically right next door to Acadia. And I like to spend just tons of time and visiting stuff in Acadia National Park. So that's kind of the easiest way to do it. There's only, how many, was it Southwest Harbor and I can't remember if Seal Harbor or Winter Harbor's across the bay or whatever. But anyways, there's only so many like places to go, like if you're gonna stay like right almost like in the park or right next to the park and stuff. So Bar Harbor. Number 5, what is your favorite alcoholic beverage? And so I'm going to definitely sound like an alcoholic here, just like going over this. If I really was like pushed to it, I'd probably have to say beer now. But more importantly, it would have to be like the darker stuff. So I like porters and stouts, which is kind of funny because like, when you go to a beer festival and like 70% of the alcohol there is IPAs and stuff, and it's just a sad day in a way. But probably like a good, like I said, a good stout like on a cold-ish day, like by the campfire outside, is just superb. But if we're going with like harder stuff and everything, like gin is my favorite liquor. I love Tom Collins, Gin Fizz. I'm sure there's like other things, gimlets. I'm just like drawing blanks all of a sudden. But if I had to pick my favorite mixed drink of all time, it's got to be like a tie between a mojito and a whiskey smash. Both kind of like refreshing ones after like a hot day and stuff. So yeah, it was probably like a ton. Yeah, that Pretty much sounds like I'm an alcoholic. Number 6, what is your favorite non-alcoholic beverage? So I almost never ever drink coffee. I only drink tea really like when I'm feeling like kind of ill or sick and stuff. Geez. I used to drink a lot of lemonade. I love lemonade. Not quite as much anymore. I'll probably go with like if a smoothie counts as a beverage, like a fresh smoothie with like fresh fruit and stuff is just sublime sometimes. All right, and then number 7, what is your favorite time of the day? And it probably, if I had to guess, afternoon, either afternoon or night. I feel like as the day goes on, like I just do better and better. Like probably I have like the most energy probably around like 7, 8 o'clock at night and stuff. So during like weeknights, and then like on the weekend it's probably definitely like the afternoon. And then what is your favorite season? So it's definitely not winter, just based on like where I live, and it's like, below zero like for a month straight. It's trash. I don't care what anyone says. Also, I think fall is overrated. I don't know if it's because our fall is like short and just cold, I don't know, I feel like fall is just an overrated kind of thing. Though campfires in fall are really good. My gut says to say summer, but honestly, I kind of like spring in the sense, I feel like a pagan, like from the olden days where, we survived, we survived winter and like 10 feet of snow and like minus 40 degrees and everything. And oh, look, there's actually like green grass. Like, what is going on? So I probably would say spring, plus it's like the beginning of like gardening season and stuff like that. So there you have it, 8 random questions. I hope you found those kind of interesting. If you have a channel, why don't you go ahead and go do this? Super easy, super fun if you want to. And even if you don't have a channel, leave some comments down below on mine and over at Robert G's channel, where he was kind of like, I found it interesting just to see kind of like what everyone was saying to these. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. And always remember, whatever you end up reading, we're still here for books and stuff, surely. Always remember, read victoriously.